Hi guys, my name is Chief Capdanta at second year college of Philippine Advent College in Sindangan, Zamboanga del Norte. I'm Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Math. So for today's content, we will make a video presentation regarding the quadrilaterals. What is the quadrilaterals and what are their classification and also their properties. So before I proceed the explanation about regarding the classification and properties, let me explain first what is quadrilateral. So according to my research on it, quadrilateral is a plane figure made with 4-line segment closing in a space. So second one is a 4-side closed figure. The origin of the word quadrilateral is the two Latin words. Quadri means a variant for, and latus meaning side. So here are different kinds of example of quadrilateral. First, we have trapezoid. Second, we have parallelogram. Third, we have square. Fourth, we have rectangle. 5, we have rhombus, and 6. And here are the figure regarding the 6 different kinds of quadrilateral. First, we have trapezoid. There are figure. The second one is parallelogram, and the third one we have square, and the fourth one we have rectangle, and the fifth one we have rhombus, and the sixth one we have kite. So in addition, the easiest, fastest way about quadrilateral is to build yourself. So how about we find straight object to use as a line segment? So how about we find 4-line segment? So this one. So we imagine that this is 4-line segment to use as a linear objects. So if we connect this end point there and end point there, if we connect this four side. For example, this one side, this side, and this one side. Example, 4 sides. So if we connect 4 linear objects, it will create or form of shape as a rectangle. If we form this one and if we form this like this, it will also create this rectangle. And also if we form like this and like this and like this, side this, it will also create a kite. So let's proceed to the classification of a kite. So the quadrilateral classification that I have chosen is only 3. Regarding of the 6, I only choose 3 as what I said of our instructor. So the quadrilateral classification that I've been choose is the square, the rectangle, and the kite. So here are the square, rectangle, and a kite. So let's gonna the first one, square. So square can be defined as a rhombus, which also have a rectangle. In other words, a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides and our 4 right angle. So as we can see in this figure, square. So in this every side, this side, and also this side, meaning that in every side they are congruent. The side are congruent each other. So and also their angle here and angle also here is being measured as the same. For example, we measure this right angle is equivalent to 90 degree, and all angle are the same, equivalent to 90 degree. So how about we proceed to the second chosen is classification of a rectangle. So rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles. So all rectangle are parallelogram. Also parallelogram and quadrilaterals. In other words, in other hands, not are quadrilaterals and parallelograms are rectangles. So as we can see the figure given, the figure of rectangle, so as the same as the square. So they have also as you can see the right angle compared to the square they are the same. They have the same right angle. They have measure of 90 degree, all of angle given. So the difference there is the only the opposite side. For example, this side and here is her opposite side, and this side and her opposite side. So meaning that only two pairs are congruent to each other. So how about let's proceed to the classification of a kite. So a kite is a quadrilaterals with exactly two pairs of adjacent congruent side. This definition exclude rhombi. Some textbook has at least two pairs of adjacent congruent side. So a rhombus is a special case of kite. So as we can see this figure given, figure of a kite, we see that exactly two pairs. So this side and this side and also this side and this side are exactly two pairs adjacent congruent side. So that's it. So here are some question about regarding of the figure of kite. So the question is, why is a kite a special case of a rhombus? So why? It because it is possible partition of the edges into adjacent pair and equivalent. Okay guys, let's proceed to the properties of quadrilaterals that I've chosen. The properties that I have chosen is the properties of square, the properties of rectangle, and the properties of kite. The same as the classification that I have chosen in previous discussion. So just gonna start the properties of square. So the first properties of square is all sides are congruent. So when we base this figure given as a figure square, so this is the meaning all sides are congruent. So this side AB and side BC, BD, and side EC and side CD, meaning all sides are congruent. Side CD, side DB, side BE are congruent to each other. So the second one is its interior angle is measured 90 degree. So meaning that the interior angle, this interior angle A, interior angle B, angle D, and angle C, meaning that this is measure interior angle, all this measure is being measured of 90 degrees. So meaning its interior angle is being measured degree. It's because they are congruent or the same measurement. So how about let's proceed to the third class properties of square. Diagonals are equal and perpendicular by sector of each other. So how about we draw a slit line B to diagonal to C and A diagonal to D. So meaning that and every diagonal is equal perpendicular. So when we create this diagonally to C, so meaning that the perpendicular by sector are equal. So how about let's proceed to the the fourth properties of square. So every square is a parallelogram which diagonal are congruent and bisector bisect the angle. So as we can see this figure, in every diagonal are congruent. So when we see diagonally and every and bisect, meaning the straight line to diagonal are meet other, which means bisect. So they are congruent to each other. So how about let's proceed to the last properties of square. Every square is a rectangle and a rhombus. So why that okay guys, let's proceed to the fifth properties of square. So in every square is a rectangle and a rhombus. So as we can see this figure, figure of square, figure of rectangle and rhombus. As we can see, those figure, they have also in every measurement of 90 degree. For example, the measurement of rectangle like this, we have angle A, B, C, D is being measured. They have a measurement of 90 degree. So, meaning that in every square is a rectangle and a rhombus. So, how about let's proceed to the properties of a rectangle. So, the first properties of a rectangle is all angle in a rectangle are right angle. So, meaning, as we focus on this figure rectangle, so this is figure of rectangle A, this angle A, and angle B, C, CD. This angle is being measured of 90 degrees. So all angle, meaning that all angle are right angle. So how about let's proceed to the second rectangle. So second opposite side are equal in a rectangle. So meaning that side AB is congruent to the opposite side CD, and the side BC BD is being congruent to the side EC. So meaning that two side opposite side are congruent. This side and this side are congruent to each other, and also this side and this side are congruent to each other, meaning that opposite side are equal of a rectangle. So how about let's proceed to the third properties of a rectangle. So diagonal are congruent and bisect each other. So as we can see that when we draw a straight line diagonal to D, B to C, and A to D, so meaning that in diagonally and bisects, they are congruent to each other, meaning that this diagonal are the same measure. So how about let's proceed to the last one, the fourth property of a rectangle. So in every rectangle is a parallelogram with at least right angle. So as we can see that in every rectangle, we can see the parallelogram, they have also at least one right angle. So meaning that in every rectangle is a parallelogram with at least one right angle. So how about let's proceed to the last properties that I have chosen, and which is the properties of a kite. So first properties of a kite. The first properties of kite. Two distinct pairs of adjacent side are congruent. So meaning that side ED and DC and side BC, BA and DC, so those are the distinct pair. So this pair and this pair is same length, and this pair are the same measure. So meaning that these two distinct 1, 2, 1, 2. So meaning these two pair are adjacent, meaning that they are adjacent and they are in every pair they are same measure. Let's proceed to the second properties of a kite. So diagonal of a kite intersect right angle. So meaning when we draw a diagonal, so example this is a diagonal, this is a formation of a kite. When we draw diagonal and diagonal A to C, so as we can say that the intersection of this angle is being measured of a right angle, meaning right angle is being measured of 90 degrees. So how about let's proceed to the third properties of a kite. One of diagonal is the perpendicular bisects of another. So meaning when we draw a diagonal, perpendicular bisector, meaning that bisect each other, the one of diagonal is perpendicular bisector of another. So how about proceed to the last properties of kite. So angles between unequal sides are equal. So meaning that this side, the fourth properties of kite, angles between unequal side are equal. So hopefully it is clear and clarification. Okay, here we go to our shout out portion. So shout out for my co-brainstorming in module plane and solid geometry, bro Jelvin Chulakpao, and also Ariel Damagi, and especially to our instructor in plane and solid geometry, si Ryan Labador. Shout out.